This is PC747, bringing you the latest in tech and entertainment talk. So I was out looking for a tablet. I was looking for something that will fit in the middle between my phone and my laptop or Chromebook. Now I tried the Chrome tablet, and the only one I had available in my area at the time was the Chromebook by HP, the Chromebook X2. And playing around with it, I felt like for one, it was too big, and it felt more like a Chromebook than with a tablet. And I wanted something more smaller. The next thing I was going to try was the one by Acer, the Chrome tablet. But I was having some issues picking one up. I first went through CDW, and I talked about it before. I was having some problems getting one purchased. And then after seeing some reviews online about the performance of that tablet, especially for the cost, I was not really feeling it, So I had the 86 Acer Chrome Tab 10. Now, I was able to pick up an iPad mini. I think it was iPad mini 4 from Best Buy. It was one of them open box deals. It ended up running me for, I want to say like $350. And I was able to remove a lot of the Apple apps and replace it with Google apps. But at the end of the day, I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, I rarely use tablets. The time I use tablets for the most part would be if I'm at the gym. I want to have something bigger than what I have on my phone. But when I'm at the house, if I'm not using my Chromebook, I'm using my MacBook. So I could not justify $300, especially since right now, I'm trying to save up money to be able to buy the Pixel 3 XL when it comes out, outright. I don't like signing for contracts, so I buy my phones outright. And the way I do that is I pretty much pay myself a phone payment every month until the time that the phone comes out, so that I don't have to finance the phone. I can pay for the phone outright. So after thinking about it, I looked at the latest Prime deal and seeing what someone posted up on Droid Forums saying that he picked up an Amazon tablet. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and grab one. So I picked one up, got the little Fire Tab 7, the 7th generation, the one with Alexa. Started loading it up, started noticing how kind of laggy it was, it's slow. Plus, it didn't have any of the apps I wanted to use. Which I know I should not be surprised with that. I've read the news that pretty much Amazon and Google have been at war. I posted even on my site that there's war between Amazon and Google. But I didn't go into buying this tablet blind. I started reading up that we could replace a lot of the Amazon apps with Google apps. So as I started digging into it and started finding multiple threads to do that, I decided to go ahead and put it to the test. Now I actually did it out of order, because the first thing I actually did first was add any launcher with no root. And this was a thread by Baron Kiko. He opened this up, and I used that to install the Google launcher. So I started with that. Now, in order to do that,
How would you like me to start?
Continuing on, I keep forgetting that every time I do a video, I have to turn off my Google Home. If not, anytime I say the word Google, for some reason it pops up. But again, I went ahead and tried with the Google launcher. And I was kind of impressed with that, but I was still like, okay, I got some Google apps, got the Google launcher going, but I kind of want more. Like I said, I've already did the part. So I said the next thing I really would like to do is there could be a way to remove all this bloat. So I started digging and digging, and the next thread I found had a guide to do that. Now, for those looking to do this, be aware that you need to be familiar with ADB to do this. Now, I am familiar with ADB because I used it a lot when I rooted back in the day, and I'm still familiar with it. Every now and then, I utilize it to do a little modification on my Nexus 6. So I'm still familiar with it. I have it set up on my MacBook and I utilize it a lot. So, well, not a lot now, but I've utilized it a lot before. So I was able to go ahead and use that and remove all the Amazon apps. And after doing that, it actually started performing much better. In fact, if you do decide to follow this, go to the XDA, and it was a thread started by Supersonic. And he actually gave a really good explanation, especially if you're familiar with ADB. And also, if you go through the thread, and if you go to number 3 or page 3, CyberSaga actually listed all of the apps that you can hide. And if you were copy and paste that into your ADB, it just made things so much smoother. Now, I actually did end up keeping Audible, because I do use Audible, so I ended up keeping that. Once that was, like I said, removed, everything worked fine. The next thing, I was like, all right, look, I got everything working, everything's great. Only thing now, if I can get YouTube TV working. The problem with that is just with this tablet, it can't seem to find a location. So I was Googling and looking around and found that someone came up with a workaround to allow your Amazon tablet to utilize Google location services and get the accuracy working. So this was done by Dragonfire 1024. So I went ahead and tried that, followed his steps there. Now, I ended up having to backtrack in a way because the steps that he had was to install the same 4 APKs that I already installed to get that Google Launcher installed. So I ended up removing all the apps I had before, clearing data in the cache, restarting, and then loading it the way he said. Because he make it clear that you got to install these APKs in a certain order, and the first thing you do once you install it is to go into settings and turn off auto updates. And once you do that, you will get a prompt that asks you if you want to improve the accuracy. And I hit agree. Now, the first time I did that and I went into YouTube TV, it didn't work. So I pretty much wrote it off as saying, okay, maybe it doesn't work. And then later on, when I was just happening to be playing around my tablet or the Fire tablet, it ended up working. So I began thinking, okay, we may have a fix for it. Now, because this is something that is probably going to be iffy, I'm going to go ahead and say just for now that YouTube TV, I'm going to go ahead and put that on the iffy mark. Now, so far today, I was playing around with it again. It worked fine. And I think it's going to work for the most part. And for me, I'm glad it do because I want to utilize this for something when I go to the gym on the treadmill to catch up on some ESPN or I like to listen to Droid Life anytime they have their little Droid Life show. I like to pull that up on YouTube, whatever. So that's the main reason why I use a tablet. And for someone who is like me, who's on a budget or who just, you're not quite feeling spending $200-300 on a tablet because you rarely use it. You can count on one hand how often you use it in a week. And I fit in that category. I may take it to church, for my Bible there, or like I said, to the gym to maybe catch up on some YouTube or some ESPN. But other than that, it's going to sit in the corner on the charger. So for me, this was a better deal to pick up that Amazon tablet off of Amazon for that $50 and just hack it away. Now, I am going to look at ways to try to put a tutorial together to help those who are not familiar with the ways to get this done. But for now, if you're listening to this, you're thinking, man, this is something awesome I would like to do. I'm going to put this up there where you need to be not only familiar with Android, but you need to be familiar with ADB and have everything set up. Do not go at this cold. Now, this is a $50 tablet, and that was my mindset. So I'm like, okay, don't get me wrong, $50 is still a lot of money, but if something happened to a $50 tablet versus a $500 tablet or $300 tablet, I can bite that much more than that. So, and I think a lot of people will feel the same way. But when you go down this road, make sure you prepare with ADB, you know what you're doing, you've used it before, you have everything set up, and you have a backup plan or game plan just in case everything fails. Now, I will go ahead and put this on as far as method it's safe because you're not rooting it. So you can technically factory reset and you'll be fine if you ran into a problem. But so far, like I said, the past couple of days since I've used it, I have not had any issues. I'll be putting to the full test throughout the week to make sure everything continues to work, and I will keep people updated. So if you're out there, you're wanting a tablet, you're not quite wanting to spend all the money or that type of money for an Apple iPad or iPad mini, not quite yet. You know, you're not quite feeling the Galaxy tablets right now because of the cost of that. And the reality is, we realize that as far as tablets and Android is concerned, it's non-existent. Android, for the most part, abandoned tablets. They decided to go to putting the Chrome on tablets, which is the next feat that they're trying to overcome. So people who's in that realm, people like me, I suggest you take a look at this. Maybe this might work out for you. This is PC747. I'm out. This is PC747. Thank you again for watching. Leave your comments below. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel.